Hey everybody, it's Chloe Demure of Save the Victor Roll. How's everybody doing today? Amazing, I hope. It is another video from your older than average YouTuber here on the YouTubes. And today we are going to use a palette that I've been using a lot recently for when I go to the office. And that is the ABH Norvina 3 palette. It is the Pro Pigment palettes. They had a whole series out and I was gifted this one from my friend Wilma because she was in love with a different one. So we are going to be playing with this today. I'm going to do two looks, one that's a neutral look and one that's a color look. So if you want to see, plus the other things that I put on my face for when I go to work, you're in the right place. And you know what you need to do? You need to keep on watching. Okay, so it is time to do my first go-to kind of look that I do for the office. A lot of times I will do crazy color combos because my office is pretty lax like that. It's not like nobody sees me. But if I do have meetings with clients and stuff and I've got stuff planned, I do try to go a little bit more neutral, or I've been trying to leave a little bit earlier for work. So sometimes it's like I want to put makeup on, but I don't want to go too crazy. So I thought I would do kind of my everyday looks. I'm going to do two different versions. First one's going to be the totally neutral look, and then the second one's going to be one that has a pop of color. So first thing we're going to start with is eyes, but we will be showing what I do for base as well. So this is the Norvina 3 Pro Pigment palette. I'd only ever had 3 of her little ones, and I really enjoyed them. The regular ABH, like the Anastasia formula, is usually not vegan, but the Norvina ones are, so I don't have to worry about there being carmine or anything in the pigments. This is a beautiful color story. This was one of the ones that I was back in the day eyeing. I really like this. Then they did the one that had, greens, had the very spacey look, and I quite liked that one, and Wilma has that, and she's done some amazing looks with it. So I'm just going to keep that one on the back burner, but this one is super pretty, and I think it is the perfect office palette because you've got tons and tons of neutrals to work with, some beautiful little bits of shimmers, but you do have a few pops of color. So you do a little blue, a little yellow, a little green, a little pink, a little bit purple, orange even. So it's pretty good. So there's nothing too crazy in here, but again, if you want to do a little bit of bright, you have that. But today we are going to be starting with a more neutral look. And then of course we are going to be using my current primer, which is the P. Louise Rumor 2. I try for regular bases only to have one open at a time. Colored ones, I mean, if I have duplicates of the same color, I only have one open of the color, but I usually will have a few different running around of the colored ones open. But for more neutral ones, I try to only have one open. So that way, sometimes if I've gotten them in boxes or I've got a good deal on them for future use, I don't open them until I finish whatever I am using, or I try my best. Or if I'm close to the end, like the balm, the Prime is Everything by the Balm. My one neutral one was getting a little bit dry, so I used that more for non-filming days, and then I was starting to use this one for filming days. Because if it's a non-filming day, or I'm not really doing any, I'm not, maybe going to grocery shop or whatever, and I just want a little bit of makeup on, it doesn't matter if the makeup doesn't last like 8 hours or whatever. But if I'm going to the office or something, I want the makeup to last and look as good as possible, as long as possible. And you want a good, I know we hate the word moist concealer, so, or concealer or eye primer. Well, same thing with concealer. I did, so just as an aside, as I mentioned the word concealer, so Sephora went and changed their Bright Future concealer. I finally found a concealer that I love. I really do, and nothing under eyes, but to cover some little age spots. I adore this. And then the last time I went, like a few months back, at least 3 months back, I guess, they didn't have it anymore. Then I saw some other ones, but I didn't really have time. It was busy. But this time I went and I talked to the girl at Sephora. It was the last day of the Sephora sale. My friend wanted to run in. And then she's like, yeah, they've discontinued it. They've made 2 new ones. A lighter formula and a heavier formula. And I just kind of give her the side eye. And she's like, I know, right? It's like, why didn't you just keep this one and make a lighter one and a medium one or a heavier one? And if people wanted more fuller, they get that one. If they want a very, very, very light one, do that one or have a medium coverage, which is this one. But she says the closest was the lightest. So since it was a Sephora sale, I did pick up one of those, but I got to finish this one off first. It's getting pretty close. I mean, it doesn't look like it because you can see the color all the way through, but it is thick. So I can see the brush there through there. So it is starting, but it was just like, okay, I can get that you can add to your range, but why are you going to take the perfect one down? And there were really good reviews on it. So I don't know. Anywho, so I decided to do a little rant on that, but we'll see how that other one plays out. We did match colors to my hand, and it was definitely a way lighter formula, but the color was the same one that I had here. So I thought that was good. So it was at least a perfect color match. Alrighty, so we are doing the neutral today. I'm gonna go, and then what they do here is they don't give them names, they just give them a letter and a number, and then I think there is a rhyme and reason to them. So yes, so they go the rows A, B, C, D, E, and then each one goes to five across. So that, at least that would be easy if you did want to say what color you're using. So for instance, we are going to start with, what is it again? A, B, C, D, E. So we're going to start with E2. So we're going to use the shade E2. I say it's so easy, and then I'm like, what? Alrighty, so we're going to do the shade E2, and then I'm going to do that on the outer edge here. I think for the color one, I'll do a winged out look, and for the neutral, I'm going to do a rounded look. I do them both ways when I do a neutral look too. All depends on what I'm doing, and then I think I'm going to be using a little eyeliner today anyways, so might as well do a rounded look, and then the eyeliner to give a little bit of a winged out look. So I do find, especially with older eyes, if you can get your, the looks a little bit higher, it does lift your face a little bit. So that's always a really nice. I think because my base is pretty much consistent for what I do during the week, that for the second look, I might just do the colored look and then just do the base and stuff off camera because it'll be relatively the same. Because really the focus is this Norvina palette, but I thought, instead of just showing the eye looks that I generally do, why not also do a full face? And then you can kind of see what I do there. And then I'm going to just take a bigger, fluffier brush that I'm just going to use for blending, and then I'm just going to blend this out a little bit. Like I said, you can always add more color, but taking away is a little bit harder. So there we go. We've got that blended started out. This is really nice. It does keep the pigment really well, but it does soften it just a little bit. I've been noticing a lot of people have been really more into neutrals. I don't know if it's the year of the neutral. I really like the Cosmic Brushes one, but just for the last little while, for some reason, I've just been grabbing this one. So I thought this one would be the fun one. And then this one might be one that a lot of people already have in their collections, especially if they're in North America, because again, this was easy to get at Sephora. So then I'm going to go into the, yes, I'm going to go into it, still into a warmer shade. So this is going to be C3. So that is the slightly lighter brown, but it's more warm than the D1 that I was originally thinking. And pop that there. I'm going to cover most of the eye. I'm just going to leave just in the tear ducts open because I want to bring one more shade into there. This is nice. This palette doesn't have a lot of fallout. The quality is really good. I'd gotten rid of my little ones because the quality was starting to go. And I think that this one is probably near the same age as one of the last ones that I bought, but the quality here is still really, really nice. I'm not seeing any issues like that there's it getting patchy or dry or anything. The quality is really held up on these. I think there's some people that definitely liked the Anastasia Beverly Hills better. I know there's some people that have liked Norvina better, and then some that have liked both. I can't say what I think of the Anastasia Beverly Hills. Like I said, all the ones that I had ever wanted of them, because most of them were pretty neutral. I really wanted the one from Alyssa Edwards, but they had carmine in there, so I could not do So there we go. We got this beautiful, and like this one's just slightly brighter. So I thought that's kind of nice for the middle. And then for the outside, I'm gonna go and use this kind of, it's almost like a mustardy shade. So this would be A3. So we're gonna go into this kind of mustardy brown-like shade, and we're gonna do that right for the inner there. I'm just going to bring it up over the top just a little bit. Yeah, it definitely looks a little bit lighter in the pan. It does go on a smidge darker than what it looks like in the pan, but it's still good. So, and then I'm going to clean it off that same brush, and then I'm just going to blend a little. So nice, a simple look there. Then we are going to go into do our bottom lash line, and we are going to go into that first shade that we use. That's going to be E2. This definitely makes it easier for all these palettes. They don't have to think of crazy names. You'd think that after a while you're going to run out of names for eyeshadows or start naming them silly things. So I quite liked this, just having a number. And then it's easy too when if you're doing videos and you want to mention them. And there's nothing, then I don't need glasses to read them really either, so that's always helpful. And there we go. And then we're going to use that little brush there, and then we're going to smudge it. Alrighty, so now for the shimmery shade, I'm going to do one in the inner corner and one for the lid. So for the inner corner, I'm going to be using C1, which is the really bright kind of champagne colored one. Actually, I can use the same brush that I used for the bottom lash line. Just clean her off because it's nice and little. And then we're going to go into C1. Now the shimmers in here, of course, are good quality ones, but still they are your everyday shimmer. They're not duochrome, multichrome, anything like that. But they are nice and soft, which I like, so no scratch. And see, just got a little bit of a gleaming spotlight. All right, so now for the lid, got here. I think I'm going to... All right, so this is, I'm just going to take a look here first. So we've got here, this is D2. This one feels like it's almost got a little smidge of orange to it. And then this one is D4. I just wanted to make sure it was a shimmer. Yeah, this one's definitely more orange, so we're not going to do that one, I don't think. And then we've got D5 here that I thought would be really, really nice. That might be good. And then if I want to go, oh no, those are all mattes. Do I have any other ones that I thought might look good? No, trying to stick totally to neutrals. So I think we are going to go, actually no, let's go with this one. So we're going to go with D2. I think that's what we're going to do. I'm going to use my finger for this one, for the first one. You can see that there. And then we're just going to pat that nicely into the center of our eye. So then you can see it does go on super nice with the finger, and it's especially good if you want to do like just a nice smattering of shine, like so. And then if you want to use a brush, grab a little flat one here, and then again we're going to go into D2. Let's try with a little bit of spray. This is not Rude Cosmetics, it's my Indeed. If there is a broken sprayer in any brand, in anything, I'm going to find it. I just bought some new dish liquid, same thing, it doesn't work, pump doesn't work. It's absolutely, why is it I always seem to find the ones that are broken? Yeah, so this goes on just as nice with the brush as it does with the finger, so you can do it however you like. It goes just as nicely and it disperses just as nicely. So we're going to leave the liner and everything, and we're going to go to our base. So we'll just leave the rest of that for after. Now for base. So today I have been really liking, again, this is another thing, I try my best to only have one thing open at a time. At most two if they do different things. So like this one is for redness, and I think I may have another one that I opened, but I use it with the LYS foundation. So that's fine. But I really do I like all the ones I've tried from ZZ so far. I do have another one that I want to use at some point. So I think you have to let me know if you are interested to doing a full face of ZZ. I actually traded. I did a video a long time ago and I had a really nice the gold compact with blush in there, but then I swapped it with my friend who she had gotten one in her ice cream box, but she liked my color better. So I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm not married to it, and that way gets me to try a new color. Like, we can swap. So we swapped, but I haven't had a chance to use it yet. So I was thinking maybe when I'm going to open the new primer and everything, then I could do a full face of ZZ. And when I open the new foundation, one of my favorite formulas of foundation is the ZZ Cosmetics one. I like the one from their more expensive brand, but the one that's the regular, the Palace Identity. That one, oh my god, it's so good. But then I tried one of the ones that was just under the ZZ brand, and it was, I think it was probably almost the same formula, just different packaging. So and then when I almost finished that one, I panicked, then I bought one. So I do have one. So when I'm ready to open one of those, that's what I'm going to do. So there we go. This helps a little bit with redness, and it does have a little bit of glow to it. And then we're going to use for Believe Beauty, this in Delicate Ivory. I love this. I am really starting to, it's about this full now. So maybe I can find a way to go across the border to the US. I know a couple of my friends go quite often, so maybe if they go one where there's a Walmart, I think it's Walmart that carries it. No, Dollar General. So if they know somewhere where there's a Dollar General, that maybe we can do that. So I'll just take a little bit there. I usually kind of flatten it a little bit so it just kind of doesn't put too much on at one time. And then go like that. Go. And then once I kind of place it, I can start the top. Really do like this foundation. I already finished the primer. That's another primer I really like. So if I go to get more of the foundation, I'll just pick up like whatever I pick up from foundation. So if I pick up, because it's cheap, it's like $5 or something. So if I pick out a couple bottles, then I might do like 4 of the primer, because I did use the primer first. I mean, I did use it with also some other foundations because I really liked it. It worked with I didn't have any problem. Like I have the one from Indeed Laboratories. I love their skincare, but I bought their sort of viral primer. It does not work with everything. It works really good with my ordinary. So if I'm using my little ordinary foundation, then so that way I don't waste the Indeed primer. It goes well with that, so I can wear it with that. So then once I've placed the foundation, I see if there's anything that's not quite covered, and I usually do. I do have a couple age spots, so that's where this little kind of concealer comes in handy, and that's usually what I pop it on, and that usually helps a little bit more. Don't use it too much, because I use concealer. It's more of a hate thing than a love thing. But like I said, I saw a video, and then a friend was buying a different concealer, and then I saw this one. I was like, oh, I'd seen a whole bunch of YouTube videos of all these people saying that they loved it. Then I bought it, and then I saw some people saying that they actually hated it. So I was like, ooh, which camp I'm gonna fall into? And then I finally, after having it for like sitting there for like 6 months, finally opened it, and I liked it. And then they freaking changed the formula. Buggery bollocks, as I like to say. So there we go. It just helped cover that spot just a little bit there. And then I put on a powder. Right now's current favorite, I have a few different favorites going on right now. People are on fire with their setting powder. So this is from Nikia Joy. This is her Velvet Brightening Powder, and it is a slightly pinky shade and smells so delicious. It works good, and I just love. I could just sit here and smell this thing all day. It smells so lovely. It's like like vanilla cookies, maybe. I think that's kind of what it smells like to me. And I do the same thing. I kind of place it, disperse it, and then I pat away. And just a little bit. It doesn't need a lot. I just like to set my foundation a little bit. And then this one does have a little bit of a glow to it. So does the, I believe, Beauty Foundation. So it doesn't take, as you can see, it doesn't take all the, when it's like matting it, I guess, setting it, that it doesn't dry it all down. For eyebrow primer, I've been really liking my Makeup Geek one. Rest in peace to the Makeup Geek brand. But yeah, I really like that. I have a Beauty Bay one because I got one that's a little bit darker because I've been rocking darker hair. So once this is done, and the other pencil, it came in a set. So there was one of these kind of mechanically ones, and then there was a regular pencil in there. And I do like both, but I just find that I seem to be reaching for this one the most. So I'm just going to, so there we go. We've got our eyebrow pencil on. So let's see, are we going to do any bronzer today? Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Usually I'm more in the winter. All right, so we're going to put on a little bit of this one. And this is one that I gotten from a friend. It is from, is it from Marks and Spencer or Primark? One of the two. Oh, it smells like coconut and summer. So we're just going to use a sponge, and then we're going to go in there because it is a cream. It is in my project pan. We're going to be using some stuff that's in my project pan, or I just need to use it kind of pile. And it's sometimes on days where I don't want to think, I can just grab, and that's kind of good if you're doing your makeup at 5 o'clock in the morning. You know, a lot of things I have in my project pan are just because I only have ever one open. So it's just nice to have it all in one spot for all the things that I'm using. And then since it's winter, that's when I'm apt to add a little bit more, just a smidge more color. So next up, we've got some blush. So I have these 2 different ones that I've left in here because, again, they're very easy peasy lemon squeezy if I want to use them. So this is from Delancey. I have 2 different colors here. One is super neutral one that is in Marmalade. And then I've got one here in Arturum After Moon. Okay, interesting. And then if I want to do color, so maybe I will do that tomorrow. I've used 2 of them because I bought 3 of them from Fenty Beauty, and then I have this beautiful red one that you can make it intense or not intense. Maybe we might do that with our color look tomorrow. So I think I used this one yesterday, so we're going to use this Arturum Moom, and it's just got a nice little doe foot. Looks almost like it would be a lipstick, but it is actually a blush. And this one you have to work a little bit fast. So I kind of should just do one side at a time, but I usually just quickly put it on, start the patting process so I don't have little lines, and then I just add the rest of the color. And then sometimes I can build this up a little bit more depending on what I want to do here. So I usually do the first round and then I decide, and I think I can do a little bit because it is quite the neutral shade. I'm just going to add a little bit more towards the top there, and then do the same thing. I got one of these in an ice cream box, and then I got one gifted from a friend who was cleaning out their makeup collection. So, because it was too neutral for them. And normally I'm the girl that will wear a purple blush, green highlighter, that sort of stuff. But like I said, when you're getting ready to go for work, and I always like a little bit on my nose, going to work, these are kind of perfect for that. Into the hairline. And there we go. So I got quite a few different highlighters that I have in my project pan. Let's just use them. So Solar Sailor from Kaleidos, which is my favorite, one of my 2 favorite highlighters of all time. It is this one, and the other one is the Rodeo Drive from Ofra. I already have an extra one of these, but I got it in an ice cream box. But I do like that one. And then I really love, I got this as a freebie gift. from Cover FX. Always when you buy from them, you can always get choices of some really great stuff. And I've had this for a few years now. It's one of those quilted formula. The pans are quilted, so it seems to take a lot longer to use them. I'm starting to make headway on them, but I really like these. So I think I'm going to use that today, and maybe I'll use one of these other ones tomorrow. But this is, again, one of my, I just love this. It's like the perfect, all three of them are perfect everyday shades. So I think we're going to go the one that I seem to use the most, which is the middle one here. I don't know if I think it is, yeah, they are 24 karat gold, white gold, and rose gold. So it seems to be the white gold, which is, I really quite like that in jewelry. So why wouldn't I like it in highlighter? And then you'll see, like, it's just beautiful. It doesn't put any texture. It doesn't seem to, that I can see, and it looks very whitish. Isn't that beautiful? So I do like this one. I don't know if you can still get it on their website, but if they do, this is a go buy for sure. I just love this. Or if you're buying something else like foundation and they have this as an option as a freebie to pick, take it, take it, take it. It's so good. So again, it's their, what do they call it? Did they just give it a full name? I think it's just called their gold bar. I think it's what it's called. Anyways, some of it's all rubbed off with time, but I really like that. So that is good. So before we do anything with lips, let's finish up our eyeballs. So another thing that I do sometimes is I take one of the lightest shades of brown from the Anastasia palette, and then I put on this, I was given this too, it's a glimmer shadow. I don't even know, is this a brand on there? FMG, I don't know. So I was doing that last night. It was really, really pretty. So I just did a light and then I just popped that on top, and it was so nice. But we're not going to use that today. So we are going to put on my black liner. This is one from Deuce. I got this in a goth mystery box / magazine, and I really quite like it. I mean, this is a little stubby, so it's a little bit weird to get used to, but the tip and everything on here is really nice. I did this last night as well, and I really like it. And then I usually like to do just a little wing. Sometimes I do really crazy wings, but for work I try to keep them just a minimal wing. So I usually align the lash line around the lash line first, the lid, because that I don't need to have my eye open to do. But for when I do the wing, I try to, just so I can know where I want to place it, I try to have it open. And just so I know that I'm going to see something when my eyes open. If I do it with my eyes closed, sometimes I put the line on and then I go close, then I open my eye and I can't see the line. It's gotten into the folds. So this way I can get a line there. And then once I have it, I can close my eyes and color away. See, so that way I get a little bit of a wing and a little bit of a pull, but it is nothing that is too intense. And that way I can try and match it up. And then if one gets a little bit higher, because I have one eye that's a little bit more hooded, then I can match the other one up a little bit. This just gets me, so I know where, because why do put on an eyeliner if you can't end up seeing it after, because your eye eats it. See, so sometimes this side gets a little bit longer because I think this one has the deeper fold. So then I can go and just smidgey up this one just a little bit and bring it back in. And then we are more matched. So there we go, and that is the aligner. And then we are, of course, using our favorite mascara. So this is the Lash Princess by Essence, the green one, always the green one, and I think it's because I like the brush. I think their formulas feel the same. I've tried a couple. I've tried the purple one, and I want to say the yellow one. I think I've tried 2 different ones. Anyways, I like this brush, and that's the one thing I noticed, that the formula felt right, like as in the same to me, but the brushes were different. So I like them a little floofy, but not too floofy because I don't have a lot of lashes. And if the brush is too big, even though those do make the lighter lashes, I end up half the time having it up to my eyebrow. So I do not want to do that. And then oops, see, I still can come get it. Okay. And then I don't usually wear lashes for work either because I have glasses on and I stare at 3 computer screens. Well, if I'm on the office now, it's 2. I moved desks, but I can futz around on 2, but I usually have 3 because sometimes I don't want to have to move stuff back and forth, back and forth, and back and forth. I like to be able to look at everything I need to look at one time, especially when I'm reconciling something. So I've been banned from getting a 4th screen. I really do want one. My IT person is like, you do not need a 4th screen. It's like, but I do. That's okay. There we go. A little bit of mascara. I know I wish I had more lashes, but here we are. And I'm not going to do extensions or whatever because I hear that they can make your other lashes worse. So it's like, no, tanku. I mean, I could be wrong. I don't know, but that's what I've heard. Alrighty, so now for lips. I've been really liking this one. This one is called Good Vibes, but the Ace Beauté is quite nice. I've been quite liking this. I have one of their regular bullets in kind of a balmy lipstick that I quite like, but this is like your traditional liquid lip and I quite like it. I love the packaging. And there we go. This one is very neutral. It's really nice. And what's kind of nice if you do have a more neutral lipstick, if you're going out for lunch and you're eating a burger or something and you're with coworkers and it's usually a little bit easier to get rid of the neutral than it is to get the bright red from underneath. Yeah, this is a very soft, pillowy texture. Those close-up mirrors freak me out. They help with doing eyeliner, but then it's like, am I getting more wrinkles? Okay, so here we go. Good Vibes, and I think this one goes really, really pretty good with this look. It's a little bit maybe cooler, but there we go. And here we go. And then usually I just put like some earrings in or something, but I'm going to be going out in a little bit and I need to get changed and everything, so I haven't quite decided what jewelry that I'm going to wear. But there we go. That is look number 1 with our ABH Norvina Collection Pigment Palette, Pro Pigment Palette 3, the neutral look. So if you want to see what I do with a little bit of color for the office, you're in the right place. So you're just going to keep on watching. Alrighty, see you in a second. So here we are for part 2. This is going to be the color edition. I did the same base, but I did as I said I would. I am using the strawberry daiquiri or daiquiri dip from Fenty as my blush today. I used the same highlighter palette, but instead I used the gold color, and we will be using a different lip today. And here we go. So I've got a little bit of my P. Louise Rumor 2 ready to go here, and we are going to prime our eyes, and then we're ready to slap some color on it. So just a little update. My plans got canceled last night, but the makeup looked amazing all day. I left it on anyways and took it off before I went to bed, and it was still looking lovely. So it was definitely a good makeup day. And again, the foundation is Believe Beauty. The primer was ZZ Cosmetics, their one for redness, the green one, and powder, again, my Natia Joy as well. So eyebrow pencil was also the same, which was the one by Makeup. Okay, so we're primed. Now let's see. I am wearing green today, so we may want to play with the greens in here. So here is, again, this beautiful palette. So again, we are doing a look that I would normally wear for the office. I'm actually going out for coffee into a market today. It is still market season. We go from Halloween markets to Christmas markets. So here we go. So I decided I'm going to do, again, because we're just doing pops of color when I do a neutral look. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into A3 here, and then this is going to be the neutral shade that I'm going to be using on the outside of my eye. I'm going to use one of the same little floofy brushes that I used yesterday because I used brown with it. So this light brown will be fine, I think. It's kind of taupey. And then we're going to do this, and I'm going to just do the corner. I am going to wing this out a little bit, but I'm just going to place color here, and color here, and then I'm going to grab a little card because I put a base on, so I didn't want to use the tape. Yeah, I can make it a little less sticky by tapping it off on my hand, but then I just don't always find that that is always super successful. All right, so we're going to take this little card here, and then I'm going to grab, here it is. I grabbed myself a little angle brush here, and I'm going to go back again into A3. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the card there, I'm going to go like so, and then we're just going to wing it out. We're not going to do a super wing, like I'm not going to bring it all the way up. But I am going to bring it and then have my eye open, and then I'm going to bring it across here like so. Yeah, I think that's as far out as we're going to go. And then I'm going to try and match that up on the other side as best I can. Again, taking it from the corner. We only want to bring it to just past the end of my brows. Just past. And then we want to bring it over. So hopefully that looks pretty close, I think. I think I can live with that. And so then now we can color it in and then blend it a little bit. That's how I used to do it before I discovered tape. But then half the time, I did actually find my Sephora tape today, but I just didn't want to take the chance of monkeying with my makeup. So there we go. So we've got the kind of wing there. I'm going to take that same fluffy brush, and then I'm going to try and soften it a little bit. Alrighty, so now I'm going to I'm going to go, actually, no, let's leave that one there. I'm going to go into B5, and then I'm going to do that one more just into the middle. I want to add some color. Just want to do a little bit of a transition, I think. There we go, just a little bit. I just need to leave room for some color, and then we will blend this as well to soften it. Okay, so there we go. So we can have a little bit of a lift here, and we can still have a little bit of fun even though we're going to the office. And then we are going to pick our green. So I think what I want to do for the inner corner, I might make it a matte inner corner, or matte and then with a little shimmer on top. So I think for the inner corner, I'm going to use E4, this more yellow, or should I use A1 for more neon? Well, maybe, you know what, forget it. I'm going to use the A1 a little bit more, because this one does have goes good with the green, but this has just a tinge more green in it. So yeah, we'll do this for the inner corner, and then I think for the main color, we're going to go into E1, because I think that's pretty close to my sweater. So let's pop ourselves a little bit of E1. Oh, that's such a beautiful green. And that is what we're going to see. That's pretty. Just doing a light touch, and then we can darken it. Just slowly building it up until I get what I want. All right, there we go. And then we said for the inner corner, we were going to use A1. So that is the bright kind of neon-y yellow with a pop of green. So, and then I'm going to take a little bit of that same shimmer we used yesterday. So that was C1, and then I'm going to place that on top. There we go. So for our bottom lash line, okay, so I'm going to go back into, the first shade we used, A3, and I'm going to use that on my bottom lash line. Okay, and then we are going to blend that a little. There we go. So now we're going to use a little bit of shimmer. We don't have we do have a green shimmer in here. I lied. So the C5, but I want to see how that goes because it looks a little dark. So I want to see, ooh, that's very pretty though, how that plays. Actually, that might be okay. Let's try that. Ooh, I forgot to bring my spray, but I don't think this one really needed it yesterday, so. Oh yeah, no, that works great. There we go. That is great. Yeah, hey, that shimmer worked perfect. It just looks so darker in the pan, but once you stick it on the eye, goes really nice with that color. So then I'm going to add a little bit of D2, I think. And I'm going to put that on the edge of the green into our, heading towards our wing there. Just a little. Since I didn't really raise it up too high, I think I can get away with a little bit more sparkle. Office look doesn't have to be boring. Okay, and there we go. I think that is our eyeshadow. So I did pick the same liner again that I had yesterday. I did also bring a sparkly pink one. I thought I was going to do it on the liner if I decided to paint pink or purple, but since I opted for this sweater today, I think I'm not going to. So we're just going to go back into this Deucey or Deuce, not sure, because it looks like it's D-O-U-C-C-C, or is it Duke? Maybe it's Duke. We're going to call it Duke. All right. Strong name for a strong eyeliner. Yeah, just a little bit of this wing. Make it a double wing look. I just feel weird if I don't have eyeliner on. There we go. Maybe this one can have a slight little bit. All right. Then we're going to go, as always, with our Lash Princess. There we go. Mascara on. And then for lips today, I decided to go with, I can never remember its name though, and see if it's on here. One of the lipsticks I have from them doesn't have the name on it, so it is hard to tell. This one, nope, this is the one that doesn't have the shade name on it, but it is this beautiful bronzy shiny shade. So I thought we could do this, and this is Lovelace Cosmetics. I really do love their lip formula. It's made in Canada. I think that works. Alrighty, I'm gonna go pop on some earrings, put this away, and then we can have final. And here we go. We are all done. We are ready to go out. The birds always start as soon as I start, but here we go. So this is look number 2, finishing our 2 look videos using the ABH Norvina Pro Pigment 3 palette. One more quick look. Let's do it this way. This is a beautiful color story here. It is a really good every single day palette for office quick looks, going to see the parents. If you know, not everybody likes a crazy eye look. I know my mom doesn't. So here we go. So just like a little bit of color, a little bit of fun for the office, but I don't think that's too much. At least not too much for me. So anyways, that's our video. So if you liked it, please give a like, comment, subscribe, and maybe even hit that notification bell. If not, that's okay. We can still be friends and do makeup looks together. As always, behave, make good choices, and we'll talk to you soon. Okay, bye-bye.